Be
Don't
quiet,
say
guys.
anything you can regret.
All right. I'd like to welcome everyone out to Planning Commission meeting for Thursday, November 5th, 2020, and we'll call this meeting to order. We'll start off with item 2.1, which is the Pledge of Allegiance, with which Wendy's going to be offering. Thank you. And we do have a full quorum, and we have, just so everybody's on the same page, we'll have Adam, Andrea, Andy, Jackson, Brody, and Lauren that are here. And we'll jump into asking if there's any conflicts of interest on the item that we have today.
Nope.
Being none, and then we're looking for a motion for approval of minutes for September 17th, 2020 Planning Commission meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes for September 17th, 2020, item 2.4.
A motion by Lauren. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, then we'll jump into item 3.1, which is a request. Now we're recording. Oh, we're good? Okay. We'll do item 3.1, which is administrative item, and it's a request for a conditional use for a dance studio known as Lifehouse Performing Arts. And we'll go to city staff.
Thank you. We'll just bring up our PowerPoint here. This is a topic that I'm confident the Planning Commission is familiar with, in that the Commission recently recommended a change to our M1 land use regulations to allow performing this land use in this particular zone. Personal instruction is the category that it's in, but as it was mentioned, this is a dance studio. Mitch, I'm not able to control this again. So the council did adopt the land use change, and that then the applicant submitted their conditional use application, which you are reviewing tonight. This use is in an existing building, so there's no proposed construction associated with this land use. It's a finished space. The applicant is online tonight in order to answer any of your questions. Great, yeah, here's our presentation. As you can see, this is just south of the Mountain View corridor where it terminates in our city currently. And it's in this northernmost facility, this structure. Many of you are familiar with it in that there's a DBAT is down in this location. You can see at the very southern end of the city. The conditional use process, as stated, is an administrative item. The Planning Commission makes the final decision. Any of your decisions are appealable to the appeals hearing officer of the city. You can see this map identifying a number of the land uses that are already permitted in these structures. This applicant is occupying the end unit, so the most northern unit of this development. One of the things that the applicant discussed with staff is this concern from the Planning Commission on how do we have a safe pickup and drop-off zone. And so they have proposed to have a clockwise circulation. You can see that the parking and the pavement is already in place and allows for this type of circulation. And then this little square red box in the upper section of the drawing, that's the pickup and drop-off location. And there's currently a striped stall right there, or kind of a pedestrian area, and you'll see that in a photograph. So here,
Is that, so that's the front?
yeah, this is the front of the building. You can see that striped area. We had talked about as cars come around this corner off here on the right-hand side of the screen, as they're coming around, obviously the passenger side is to the side of the building, so that's good. The students, usually it's children being dropped off and picked up. They don't have to cross an aisle, they can just go right there. We had wondered if maybe losing a parking stall and actually striping that whole thing out might be a little better so that you don't have a vehicle that might be parked there and blocking the view of the students. But that wasn't part of the proposal. That's just maybe an option if the commission feels like that's would be required or justified. You can see in this building, there's actually a demising wall right down the middle, but it actually, the Lifehouse is occupying both sides of the space. One side has the dance floor that's being finished inside the structure. There are accessible parking stalls, but you can see it's just slightly to the south of the main entrance. We had almost wondered about, is it possible to relocate this ADA stall right in front of the main entrance, and that would kind of open that up as well. But you can see we actually have an ADA ramp to accommodate that, and so that wouldn't work because the entrance into the Lifehouse itself doesn't have that ramp. It's just a curb. The applicant has also proposed to install some signs that would direct people to make sure they do that clockwise movement. They've tested that out with some temporary signs. So one of the conditions of approval that we've recommended is that they would become permanent directional signages or sign in the project. Any questions of staff on the project? Okay.
So are they already there dancing?
No, I don't believe they are. I think they've just been, the general contractor was able to get a permit kind of at their own risk to just do like a light tenant finish. So I don't believe the project is done, but they wanted to at least do some things. And if for some reason it got denied, they could recycle what they've done into other users.
Okay.
So.
All right. We might have more questions, but I'm going to let the applicant, if they're here, share any additional information they may want to. I don't see the applicant unless they're caller number 2. I don't know if the applicant's on.
It's Nisha. I spoke with her this afternoon. She said she was going to be on. One other thing I didn't mention is that there won't be any performances here. This is just a rehearsal space. All performances will be at another facility that they rent out. It'll be a specific performance hall. So this is just a training, facility.
Okay. Maybe the applicant wasn't able to jump on, but only question I have is just exactly how many stalls are dedicated to this individual, the dance studio.
5. It's a 5, I think.
I'm sorry, say that
How
again.
many parking stalls are dedicated to them?
So there is a condition of approval that they had to have one for, is it 250 square feet? And I don't recall what the calculation is, but they have more than what is required, including what's in the rear of the facility, which they do have a rear door on the structure that goes all the way through the facility.
Can we look at the,
Yeah.
I think one of the early pictures, we might be able to at least get a
Yeah,
rough
let me go
idea.
back to the site plan, right there.
Some across the way too, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the only reason why I ask is I know that the dance studio that my daughter goes to, they have about, at any point in the night, they have about 8 to 10, maybe even 15 that are 16 and older dancers that actually park. And so that's the only question I have. I think that the mitigating the traffic flow is as good as you can get. They may drop them off on the side or something else later on that they decide, but I think they can
Right.
handle that. It's really just the number of stalls because realistically, if they are teaching some of the older groups, they will have probably 8 to 10 or more cars that are always parked there.
Yeah. So we've shared this parking standard with both the applicant tonight and the property owner. They know that this is the amount that we're asking or requiring to be dedicated. So you can see in the conditions of approval, item number 2, 1 space for 250 square feet plus 6 employee parking spaces. So we'll make sure that they meet that.
Yeah. So,
And
which
my
is all
guess
we
is
can do.
unit 3 probably won't be personal instruction, so that I'm guessing at night there'll be,
Yeah.
after hours, it'll be mostly free, is my guess.
Yeah, they're gonna have 20 cars there at any given time is my guess.
Yeah.
So, but all right. Anything else from anyone on the planning commission? Then looking for a motion to be made on this item.
I'll make a motion to approve item 3.1, request for conditional use for a dance studio known as Lifehouse Performing Arts.
I'll second that.
Motion by Lauren. We'll give the second to Jackson tonight, Adam. And we'll call for a vote. Andrea? Adam? Andy? Brody?
Yes.
Lauren?
Yep.
And Jackson.
Yes.
All right, that is approved. And then item 4 is any additional chair or commission comments? Seeing none, then future meetings. Wednesday, November 11th, 2020 City Council meeting has been canceled. Wednesday, November 18th, 2020 City Council meeting will be the next one for City Council. Thursday, November 19th, 2020 will be the Planning Commission meeting. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much. And then we will recommence to a work meeting after this item.
By the way, our November 19th meeting won't be short and sweet like tonight. It'll be a longer meeting. We've got quite a few items on that one,
We're
so.
only doing this